Black Stars lineup came out in a week where Barcelona were hit by another scandal. Some may say that what is wrong with Barcelona and every time issues about corruption. In a week where we expected Manchester United to bounce back from their European victory, they dropped massive points. What about Liverpool? Liverpool, after that trouncing of Manchester United, were expected to move on, but for God knows what happened. They've been brought back to reality. Lots of action over the weekend, during the weekend. I have my guys here. And you know when we meet, it's fun, it's sports, it's education, it's entertainment, it's everything. So Percy is here, Kofi is here. And we are live on YouTube, Sports 101. If you've not subscribed yet, you're missing out on quality sports content. So go out there, hit the subscription button. Make sure you are in tune with everything that is happening around the globe when it comes to sports on Sports 101. And we are streaming live on Tidy FM 99.1 in Takrady. But guys, interesting weekend.
Interesting weekend.
As a Manchester United fan, are you sure this is a weekend?
Super excited, man. Super excited. Super excited.
When you go on this trajectory, I know where you're coming from. In psychology, we call it reaction formation. Your true reaction, you are hiding it. You're just trying to format whatever reaction
No,
you're.
super excited. I'm
Are you
super
sure?
excited. Super, 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 super,
Percy.
duper, duper.
As for Percy, we all know Percy will not admit. Percy, how you feeling?
I'm super excited. Oh, let me not go.
You're also super excited.
Why
What is wrong with
no,
United
but
fans?
why should I be excited because of the the issues surrounding the team? I'm always excited. I'm always okay.
What has been your highlight, throughout the weekend in the world of sports? Quick
In
one.
the world of sports, I'm expecting you to guess this. You should be a Baba Fakule in this one. This is deja vu, Barca, and whatever happened. And I wouldn't say I'm excited. I would say it caused me to really affirm to what Kofi says, that football is a corrupt sport.
So
It is. It
that
is.
that's been your major highlight.
Of course,
Barcelona's.
not necessarily it's being Barca being should I say culprit of that, but to affirm it because earlier within the season we had issues with Juventus. DS came and now it's Barca, and it is not like it's probably those small teams that you could probably
Let's not jump the gun because we'll be talking
we'll
about
talk about that.
Barcelona extensively. Kofi, major highlights during the week because it's been a very long weekend.
It's been a
Monday.
long weekend.
It,
I think that
it started with Manchester United beating Betis 4 goals
that
to
was
1.
expected.
Yes,
I
that was
mean,
expected.
that was expected, obviously.
Real Betis were not
When
expected
Real
to
Betis
give
are
Manchester
fifth in the
United
La Liga,
exactly.
they are fifth in the La Liga.
Exactly, they were not expected to give United issues.
I actually wonder what they do in the La Liga, but I mean that's actually another subject matter for another day. But my biggest highlight of the week had to be, like Percy said, the reaffirmation of things that we've come to know of Rebel, Wolfgang, Stank. You understand? Barcelona are a club run by criminals. Criminals. Criminals.
Hold your
Hold on,
horses.
no, I
Hold
can't.
hold your
I
horses.
should just tell you.
Hold your horses. What? Why are you? I mean, viewers. I don't know why Kofi is being, attacking Barcelona when the facts have not been laid, to bear. Hold your horses. We'll talk about Barcelona, but I think let's kickstart the show, and let's start from the local scene. The Black Stars. The squad has been released. Chris Shooting, since his appointment, has been out of the country because of the demise of his father. But he's back now. He's in town. He's released the squad that is supposed to face Angola for the AFCON qualifier. I don't know. First of all, what do you make of the squad? Let's go through the squad. I'll get you the squad, but what's your fair assessment of the squad? Is
Well,
it okay?
I think that it's pretty much a luta continua from where we've left off under Otoado. We did not really expect a lot of wholesome changes, particularly the fact that it is his first job.
Okay, pause there. Let me get you the entire squad. So I'm sure a lot of people by now know. So the goalkeepers are Richard Lawrence Atizigi, there's Abdul Manaf Nuruddin, there's Joseph Wallacott, the usual suspect. The defenders, Tariq Lamptey, Dennis Odoy, Gideon Mensah, Patrick Bozo, who is making his first call up and first stint with the Black Stars if he gets to play. There's Daniel Amate, there's Joseph Edu, who's getting the call up, more or less like a recall into the team. There's Salisu, there's Alexander Jiku. The midfielders are Thomas Partey, Majid Ashimeru. A lot of people have clamored for his inclusion. Now he finally gets the opportunity to prove to Ghanaians that he deserves a place in the Black Stars. There's Abdul Salih Samed, Edmond Ado, and the wingers, Jordan Ayew. People believe that the Ayew brothers, it's time they hang their boots, but Jordan Ayew is in there. There's Osman Bukari, there's Joseph Pentil, one of the players that under the series of managers that the Black Stars have had, we've had a lot of issues here and there. But Joseph Pinto makes more or less like a return to the Black Stars. There's Kamadin Suleiman, there's Rashford Yeboah, Kudus, Andre Ayew, Kamal Soa, Inyaki, and Antoine Semenyo completing the lineup. What do you make of the end?
Well, that's a fairly good squad. I think that it cuts across almost all of the players that we have playing very good football out there, and you cannot really criticize a lot about the call-ups that have been made, because basically we are just picking what we have in the diaspora, basically. And so I do not think that I expected anything too different from what has been put out there. The only questions I have regards the Black Stars and regards the selection of players beyond all of the players that we have. You know, Lucky, one of my biggest issues with the Black Stars has never been about the players we call up. It's always been about the things around the team. For example, as we sit here, the coach's contract is still shredded in mystery. We do not know how many years he signed for.
So,
we do no,
education,
yes.
he's actually signed a 1 year contract. People wonder, the coach wanted 3 years, the ministry wanted to give him 3 years, but the FA decided to give him 1 year. And I'm actually thinking, what can a manager do within 1 year, especially when we want to build literally a new team? And I was of the view that you give this man at least 2 years. Use 1 year to build a team, then another year to probably get the team fine tuned. But 1 year, what can you do? He has just 1 year contract.
Well, if this was not coming from you, I would probably have just jumped out of the studio and run away. Because
It's a 1 year
come on,
contract. A lot of people are
I,
complaining about
I
it,
don't
but
get
that's
it.
the
I
FA
mean,
decided to give
well,
him a
I don't
contract.
get it. I mean, but see,
But that's the details nobody knows.
if you're watching me on YouTube, one of the reasons why I think Ketso Kreku, worst FA president ever. Because, see, this is a man who rode into power with principles of transparency. And listen, if you do not understand the basic rudiments of the FA and all of its dealings, the FA are like that body who we've all entrusted the power into to make sure that they run our football. You understand? All throughout the various national teams. A couple of weeks ago, Percy made that beautiful point about the German FA. You understand? And how one person was the guy who was able to put all, was it Bierhoff? Oliver Bierhoff was the guy who was able to put all of the decision making together, ran football from the juvenile to the female to the national, all the national team. But you see, there's a lot of chaos in our system. I look at Chris Hutchins. I'm not one of the people who really supported this appointment. You understand? Because I do not think that at this material time we need somebody like Chris Hutchins. I don't think we need somebody like Chris Hutchins. But the point is that, what are the KPIs? What are you employing him to do? What are the things that we should look out for to deem successful? These are the issues that we ought to be dealing with. You understand? As for the players, Ghana has always been blessed with players. I watched Kamal Dean Suleiman against Manchester United tonight. Fantastic
Put up a
player.
decent showing.
Fantastic player. You understand? I mean, my good friend Pencil in Genk, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
We all know he was left out of the World Cup squad due to politics. I do not know if the politics have been resolved now. Now, probably it's not a World Cup season. We don't have any money flying in, you understand? So we can probably rope him into the team. So the squad is a fairly good squad. Very good squad. Ghana has always been blessed with a lot of talent. But the issues around the coaching, the issues around what we intend to do as a football nation. Those are the issues that I think that we ought to be delving deeper into.
Percy. So Kofi, I asked the question about the players, but I think that we all agree that for me, people, I'm the only player that I feel, we shouldn't have called, but Daniel Amati, because I think that he's not put up a good showing whenever he's played for the Black Stars, because I feel that there's enough. There are a lot of quality, defenders around, and Lamate and the like should be given rest. But it's a fairly decent squad. But Kofi has raised interesting questions, and I mean, good questions that we need to delve into. I personally, I've asked those questions because in appointing a manager to handle your national team that has gone through a terrible time under lots of managers. We suffered under Milovan Rajavac, even under what is it called, CK Akono, and under Otuado, because I do not see the direction of the team. If you are bringing in a new manager, you need to at least what you want to do. Is it building a team, trying to put together a team for the future? I do not know. Kofi spoke about, the KPIs. What are his KPIs? What the IFA looking at in terms of achievement and all of that? We do not know. His contract is shredded in secrets. Lots of people don't even know that he signed a 1 year contract, because all we heard was there's been an announcement. Chris Hughton has been appointed as the Black Stars coach. That's it. There's not been any press conference of a sort from the FA. The communication team have not communicated anything. Let's put the squad aside. What do you make of Chris Hughton's appointment as the Black Stars manager?
You see, this is a country that has failed and is doomed to fail in years to come.
Are you also
Oh no,
doing
listen.
the
It's
same line?
there's a country that after playing football and you ask a local coach how the game went, he starts talking about God. And Nyame
But our
Adom.
president says we should look
I'm
at
saying
God.
Nyame
So we're
Adom.
very
And
spiritual.
and you ask a coach, so how would the game be? Nyame Adom will win the match. That tells you that this is a coach that is just by the way though. But you talk about coaches and you talk about countries that have gone through turmoil
Yeah.
and what they did to initiate their resurgence, and you look at us and you realize that we are a complete joke. The 40 years, we will have another 40 years to go. Our peers in Africa, in fact, I always say that when we won four, Egypt had one AFCON. So Egypt were not our peers for years, for over 20 years. Now they overtook us. So we can see that our peers are now, you can say, Egypt, to a larger
Cameroon?
extent, Cameroon,
Yeah.
and ourselves. There's no other person. There's no one.
Even Nigeria.
Nigeria is not. They are not our.
Nigeria
No,
have three.
They are not our peers.
But they have three.
No, they are not our peers.
Okay.
What Black Stars have done, Nigeria is not of. No. You don't bring that because you have to also add all our failures in the finals and all of that plus everything. Ghana, our peers, is Cameroon and Egypt. And if you want to make some decisions based on maybe some recent failures, you take a cue from what your people have done. You can take Egypt. Egypt went 3 consecutive AFCONs: 2006, 2008, 2010. Funny enough, 2012, they didn't even qualify. They failed to qualify. That is Egypt. Go and check what they did. They had to scrap everything. Then they started. And they might not probably win anything again. But you can see a significant, should I say, progression. If you take this Cameroon, the last time they were relevant was the Eto Mboma time of 2002. They won it 98, 2000, 2002.
Okay.
That is when they won against Senegal, Dior Senegal. Before that, they had also won Confederations Cup. So after that, what was Cameroon football? It was in shambles. They were just almost non-existent until they came to the realization. And from 2002, when they did everything right, Benjamin Mokanju and Basogog and his people with Onana in post, they won the AFCON. Not with a squad, a star-studded squad like 2002.
Let's quickly wrap up on this Black Stars issue.
So with Black Stars, who gives a coach 1 year contract? Who gives?
Ghana Football Association.
Not even a club team. Even Chelsea will not do this. Even Chelsea that fires. No, no, I want you. No, I want you to
you're
understand.
attacking
I want
Chelsea
you to understand
fans.
that even Chelsea that fires,
Fires
fires for no. Sometimes they fire for no reason. They will not even do this because they are the only ones who will fire a coach that has won double a season before, and the next season go to the Champions League
So you
quarterfinals.
feel
I am trying to say
the
that,
appointment.
and I just asked you. I have never heard this before.
Anyway, we want to quickly, move away from this Black Stars issue. But if you want to have your take on this Black Stars issue, you're welcome. You're welcome to have your take. But we are streaming live on Facebook as always, and we're also live on Tidy FM 99.1. 99.1. Yes, I got the frequency right. But keep your comments coming. This is our Sunday show, and the squad is here. Everybody wants to talk about it. Let's quickly move to the Barcelona scandal. And I think that the first time this issue popped up was it came up on the 15th of February.
Yeah.
That was when La Liga released an issue about it. Then, just a couple of days ago, the Spanish FA and the prosecutors have taken up, the case and have come out to say that, well, they found out issues of corruption. Now, what's the whole issue about? Now, I just want to give a background, and you guys will have your take. Why are you looking at me? Barca fans, we want to know what you think in the comment section. So, Barcelona, I think for in the era of Bartomeu, contracted, why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, go on. Go on.
They contracted a football consulting firm that was literally owned by the former vice president of the referee
So I
commission.
said that he was the current. No, let them understand.
I said that at the time, he was the vice president of the referee appointment committee of the La Liga. His firm ran a football consulting firm. They do a lot of things. So Barca contracted the company to, per the statement, give them advice and technical advice in terms of refereeing decisions and refereeing what is it called, appointment and all of that. So during those period, a total amount of 1.7 million euros was paid to was paid to the man.
That film.
Is it
The firm
8.4 or 1.7?
in the set period, the first set period, the amount that has been questioned. Now, it wouldn't have been a problem, but for they filing their tax. That was when they realized that, oh, okay, where is this amount coming from? Then the man had to say, okay, this amount is coming from Barcelona. Who paid us for this? Now, the whole point of this issue is that the Spanish FA feel that Barca's payment of that money amounts to they inducing the referee to also induce the appointment of referees to ensure that referees favor Barcelona. And it's simply an act of corruption. You've heard about it. I want to start from Percy because I know where you stand, because you've already said that Barcelona are run by criminal. Sorry. Percy, what do you make of another controversial or corruption issue that is about hitting Barcelona, has already hit Barcelona?
I just want to make some things clear. The amount was 7.4 million pounds. That is 8.4 million euros. That was why I wanted to probably. I wouldn't say you intentionally did it.
No,
maybe
I
you
know
didn't-
why. I know why. I know why I said that.
I
And
get you.
will come to
no
that.
problem.
Yeah.
I want to, in all, 7.4 million pounds. And I want us to appeal to our conscience to this. I want to bring it down. The issue was that the man was the vice president. Of course, you've stated that. And Barca paid the total in that time. And I will tell you what happened within that time to Barca and what they won.
Yes, I like that.
Barca paid 8.4 million euros to, he's called Niagara or so. That's his name. To his firm. And when they were questioned, the first thing was that it didn't appear in the books of Barca. It didn't appear. In the books of Barca.
I don't get why Kofi wants to. Okay.
I want to add something. I just want to add something quickly too. What you say? I mean, Percy, not to cut you short. Barca paid money to the firm.
Yes.
You know what they paid for?
They said they paid for.
They paid so that they can educate their players about who is coming to referee a game,
Yes.
his temperament, how he behaves when you dive on the ground, how he behaves when you jump a certain direction, a
Yes.
certain direction.
Yes.
So Barca paid for all of that.
They pay for all of
So
that.
Barca did not have video analysts
They didn't have it.
who would study clips of the past, know all the referees. But that's just what I
That
would
just-
say. Please go on.
So it didn't appear in their books. And when they were asked, in fact, Laporta, at first he denied that Barca didn't pay anything. That was what he said. He said Barca paid nothing.
Yeah.
And later he said they paid to his firm so that the firm will give them videos. One of them is videos and reports
Yeah.
on referees,
Yeah.
their appointment, and the way they do their things and all of this. But think about this. Let's say Barca did that. It was official. So it should be recorded. But when Barca filed their annual, what do you call it, accounts, whatever, it wasn't there. One of the reasons why this is an issue was that, do you know why, what do you call it, the former UEFA boss was Platini was implicated. Platini was never charged for anything corruption. The only reason why he was also given those number of years ban was that there was an unlawful amount, about 2 million Swiss franc, paid to him by a Sepp Blatter for work done for him. Listen, no, it wasn't even FIFA. He said for the things that he has done for him. Ethics committee were like, how can you say that work that I have done for you and you pay with FIFA money? That was the only reason why he wasn't able to win the FIFA, what do you call it, president.
Paid with FIFA money.
He paid with FIFA money.
Good.
This one was paid with Barca money. And the reason why this was, now, within this period, Barca went 2 good years with no penalty against them, which I know you know.
Scandalous.
No, I like it. I want us to.
Absolutely
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying that this is wrong. I am not saying that there's anything wrong
No,
with
no,
this.
I mean, I'm actually quite listening to the
I am
discourse,
saying that-
you know. I think that I'm quite listening
Angels
to
defending for them.
I'm quite
Because
listening to
this
the
is
discourse.
absolutely scandalous. 2 years, 24 months.
I'm quite listening.
So they have
to
angels
the
defending
discourse.
for them. They
I'll
didn't have mere mortals.
Let's move on. Let's move
I am
on.
not saying that it is by force or it is something
Can you
that is.
give can you give us the year?
I'm coming. I'm not saying that it is imperative or it is. It's supposed to be that in every season penalties should be again. You see, there's something if I was saying all of these things had happened. Nobody would have brought these issues up. Okay. The only reason why people started now probing and started making calculations is because of this very issue that has happened. So Barca went 2 years with no penalty again. And apart from that, you see, if the issue or there is something of a sort that has happened before, that is when it happens again, people try to, you know that already recently we have issues. You know, Barca are now won't be able to sign any player next season unless they try to balance their book because of a whole lot of things that have happened.
We all know they will balance.
We
their
know
books,
that.
exactly.
Before
They will
that,
sign
there have
players.
also been an issue of a player that was bought from Santos, and the way it was also so scandalous that we had issues. They've had 2 past presidents being arrested. One went to jail, the other one was acquitted. So it's more or less like the issues are becoming too many. So it is making the other clubs. So as of now, it is more like issues that have come up. It has never been tried at court. Nothing has happened. So we can't say because of that Barca is guilty. No, we can't say that. But the only reason why we have a lot of issues coming out of this is that why is it always Barca? That's the question. And one of the issues too that have made people raise eyebrows is that why did Laporte deny in the beginning? Because in the beginning he said that there has not been any payment. Then later he came to admit. So is it that he wasn't made aware? That is, Bartomeu did not really open up everything to all of the nasty things that have gone over the years before him, or he is aware and he just wants to block every loophole in it. So for me,
Like we are concluding.
in conclusion,
Yeah.
I love issues like this. This is where we learn. I love issues. I love scandal.
Yeah.
I love it. When Juventus issue came, we all talked about it. When City came, we all talked about it. And I think, like Kofi said, this opens the whole veil of what actually happens on the pitch. So now the issue is Is it that everything that happened to Barca? The funny thing that all this period they didn't win it. It's not like they didn't win anything. They won league. There was a Champions League in it. So, but Barca actually played well because there was MSN. There was the Rakitic era. There was Neymar. There was Suarez. You see Barca playing well, but it is now trying to dent on the whole thing. That is it that they had external help, or this is just a dent on Barca? But for me, in every scandal, there is always an iota of truth.
In every scandal, there's always an
There is always, and for me, what I believe is that another big man is going to jail.
Kofi.
No,
What?
I don't believe that.
Kofi.
No, I'll come to you.
I'm not asking any question. Why would I
I
ask a
don't
question?
just
I'm not asking
believe that another big man ought to be sent to jail. The club ought to be taken to Segunda B. Because this is not something that is supposed to be a good character of a team that plays in the League. La Liga, no. 2 years, no penalty. In fact, I mean, that's one of the reasons why you need to listen to Sports 101. We are streaming on YouTube.
That's why.
You are
That's
listening
why
to
I would.
2 years.
I would have loved for Percy to finish as the said seasons.
Oh, I'll get
Because
it for you. Don't
because you see, you finish, you conclude.
No, but
you see, I'm enjoying the
but
discussion.
yes, but
I'm being a good man.
yes, I mean, you
I'm
ought to
always
be
a
a good
good
man.
man, yeah.
You ought to
You
be
know,
a good
I'm
man.
always
You
a
ought
good
to
man,
be a
yeah.
good man because the scandals are overwhelming.
Okay.
I think that this reinforces that theory that I've always carried. The Barcelona is a criminal club, run by criminals, played for by criminals, and held by criminals. You understand? Because you look at all of these dealings, you look at all of these. I mean, how on earth would anybody try to defend this? Logically, why would anybody want to defend this? Because listen, when you come to a proper club, and Barcelona is obviously a proper club, ran very well, you understand, until now, obviously, having activated all of the levers and all of that. So I mean that. Why would you come to any proper club? And then why would you have the guts to go and pay the deputy director of the refereeing association, contract him to give you reports to players on the conduct of referees, on the behaviors of referees? Why would you do that?
Is it a rhetorical question?
It is a rhetorical question.
Okay.
For me, I am very happy the things that are coming out. Very, very happy. Because for too long a time, we've all held, various aspersions. We've all held theories. We've not been able to prove it. But I think that this opens a whole Pandora box of worms. I mean, you see, these are dirty worms. Dirty worms. And for me, I'm happy Real Madrid is involved. Real Madrid has issued a communique that they have looked at the thing. In fact, when Real Madrid looked at it, they said, "Hey." that was the reaction that was coming from the boardroom of Real Madrid. I don't know why you're excited about when my good friend said, "Hey."
Perez was so sharp.
Well, Perez said, you understand? So, well, I am happy Real Madrid is involved. Once Real Madrid is involved, I mean, listen, I trust that we'll get to the details of this issue. And for me, Barcelona, a club that ought to bow its head in shame. There is no coming back from this. You see, you can have all of the good things being said about you, but the moment you are plunged into this kind of dirty propaganda, you might come out. But now everybody thinks about Barcelona. He thinks about criminals. He thinks about, couples. He thinks about people who want to run the club. He thinks about money launderers. Because you see, we even haven't talked about the money laundering potential.
Oh,
I think that you know how Neymar was signed?
When he was giving strippers in his place and all of that.
They gave his father prostitutes.
They
promised him prostitutes. You understand? But no. Hold on. We've talked about. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, these are issues. I mean, we talk about Christine and teaching. And teaching never stole any money. But football is not for angels. You understand?
Before Sports 101 brought you on board, do we know the things that the negotiations that went on between you?
No. So the issues. I think the Barcelona has been involved in a lot of dirty things. Too many. too many. And for me, we ought to get to the bottom of this particular issue. I sitting here, I do not see how Barcelona are going to come out of this scandal unscathed. I don't see how they are going to come out unscathed. I think that they ought to be punished. I think they ought to be demoted. I think we need to look at some of the titles that were won in that particular era.
Yeah,
You see,
those 2 years,
yes,
let me just give you.
yes.
It was between February 14th, 2016. That was the last time John Guidetti converted a penalty, Celta Vigo against Barca. The next one was February 11, 2018, 2 years.
Hey, that's
So
that's
Barca
why my
had
vision-
never conceded a penalty in La
So,
Liga for 2
I
years.
was looking at this and said, "Oh,
So you see, oh, so truth be told, I think that a lot of us are being emotional about this issue. Now, I told you that when the issue happened on the 15th, the following day, La Liga came out, Tebas came out to release a statement. And listeners, viewers, listen to the statement that was released by the La Liga. And I'm glad that you can only get this on Sports 101. You don't get it anywhere else. So we must clarify from the onset. We have already looked into it. It is not possible to impose any disciplinary sanctions against Barcelona after the evidence. This is what he said. And do you know why he says they've already looked into this? One, Barcelona have not breached any law which is against the contracting the company, because it is something that is done in sports everywhere. In Spain, it is done. In Germany, it is done. In England, even in UEFA, it is done before the Champions League starts or commences. Before every season start the Champions League commences for every season. What UEFA does is that UEFA provides technical refereeing support to all the clubs. So every club gets whatever technical report from UEFA, the refereeing technical report.
from
So
the deputy refereeing,
I'm coming. You see,
the
let me
deputy
let me
commissioner of the
let me make the
refereeing
point.
association.
Let me make the point. So UEFA provides this technical report to
Conflict
all
of
the clubs,
interest.
all the. So this is where I'm going to.
Conflict of
I'm coming.
interest.
All the clubs. So UEFA gives out to them. So they know that, okay, if referee Colina is coming to what is it called, be referee a particular game, these are the things referee Colina does. I don't know if any of you remember. You remember that Liverpool this season, Liverpool Manchester City, the first leg. You remember what Pep Guardiola said? He said a week before the game, they had been in a meeting where there had been an agreement between the referees and the clubs that certain incidences would be allowed. I don't know if you remember, because you remember City's goal that was disallowed. That Pep Guardiola felt that no, we had already reached that agreement that when certain tackles, come in, the referee should allow it to go and all of that. So these are things that happen in football. The reason why people have qualms about it is because, viewers, listen, they feel that the Spanish Football Authority feel that there's a conflict of interest. And in law, issues of conflict of interest does not amount to corruption. And you see, there's a reason why corruption cases are difficult to prove, because mostly corruption is perception driven. There is it is so difficult to prove that the money that Barcelona paid to Nevregrede, that money was meant to induce any referee to favor Barcelona. What? And this is the report.
No, but
I'm coming,
not to cut you short, but
Yeah.
yes, you go about this beautiful narration, but in all of
But
this, you're failing to tell
the
us that
truth. Uh-huh.
yes, it's a beautiful narration. It cannot be entirely the truth.
That's the truth.
I don't-
This-
but
and
in
you
all
see,
of this,
uh-huh.
in all of this,
Yeah.
one,
One.
why did they fail to report in their account?
why did they deny?
I will get to the report. Now, this is the report that was released by La Liga. That's what I said. La Liga is the authoritative body of the league. They have said, we have gone into the case 16th of February. So this thing that, and you see, Laporta yesterday, or I think a couple of days ago, or even today, released a statement talking about the fact that Barca fans know that this is more or less like a ploy to derail Barcelona from whatever they are trying to do in the season. Because La Liga has released a statement that they've gone into the case. They know this case. Now, the reason why Laporta failed to actually disclose that he was not made aware. He was not made aware. He later found out that this was what happened. So he actually sought for the document. Then he realized that, okay, we did nothing wrong. And again, let me reiterate, Barca consulted a firm that is owned by the chairman of the refereeing appointment committee. He owns his private firm. Barca consulted them. Okay, we need advice. Okay, this referee, does he, what is it called, book players when they dive? This referee, is he so much of a red card referee? All these technical reports, and clubs across Europe do it. Fact.
Fact.
They do it. Barca's
But
only, the mistake was that
why do you appoint the deputy commissioner?
people feel that what Barca did, why did they specifically go to that company? Because Real Madrid also do it, just that they use other external bodies.
Obviously,
But
no,
you see, that's what I'm saying, that
no, you
issues
can
of
get
conflict of interest, they are not issues of corruption. Kofi is
hold on.
issues of
hold on,
conflict
hold on.
of interest are not issues of corruption.
But Barcelona have been charged of corruption charges
Because
by the Spanish
the
authorities.
Spanish authority feel.
You understand?
They feel that, listen, what they are
Because
saying,
you've committed criminality.
No, they haven't.
You've
This is
committed
the-
criminality
guys,
by hiding
Kofi,
documents,
let
by
me-
not exposing all of you see, listeners and viewers, when in Spain, you fail to declare all of your filings, it is criminal.
You see,
and that's what Barcelona did. They hid particular portions of their under dealings
and another regulation. Now, again, this is why you get this from Sports 101. Now, this is the report. The investigation, this is where the report actually says. It says, based on our investigation, the investigation began after Spanish tax authorities identified irregularities in tax payment between 2016 and 2018 by not Barcelona. That is what a lot of people do not know.
No, but
it
you see-
wasn't by Barcelona,
No, but that's where you get it
by,
from.
I'm coming, let me finish the report.
I mean, it takes two to
Kofi,
tango.
No, Kofi, let me finish reading
They
the
hid
report.
it, Barcelona
By
hid it.
Disney 95, that is the name of the company Barcelona contracted, owned by Negreguera, the vice president, between 94 and 2018. So during that time, he was the president of that Denso 95, the company. They failed to disclose that amount because and based on the report that has been released, when Bartomeu was paying the money, they didn't say that we are paying this money to you as services rendered to us.
So they paid us what?
That is the problem. Now, Kofi, if you may render a service to me.
No, they
now,
paid us
That was
what?
when I talked about the see. You remember I made you. I'm coming. Let me.
Yes.
I told you about the Platini bit. It was a similar thing. Listen, Michel Platini.
Yeah.
What he did for FIFA was lawful. It wasn't like he wasn't working. He was working for FIFA.
That's true.
But then Sepp Blatter paid that amount in Swiss franc to him in the name of FIFA, that I am paying you for services you have rendered.
Good.
Ethics committee found it wrong that why would he pay such an amount, although everything was so clear.
So that's it. Everybody has settled. That issue is totally different because the money was paid by FIFA in the name of Platini. But it is Barcelona, a private entity.
You didn't get it. What I said was that Platini was paid that money. No. I don't want you to get me wrong.
We don't want to drag you guys.
I'm saying that Platini was paid that money.
I allowed you to. I allowed you to speak. I'm informing and viewers.
And I don't want you to take what I said wrongly.
Viewers want my guys want to. Now let me educate. Barca is a private entity.
So is FIFA.
Barca is a private entity. Barca
It's an NGO.
They are the biggest NGO in the world.
is owned by the fans who have a president who is supposed to run the club. There is no crime in saying that, and football, like I said, we've all accepted it's allowed everywhere. Barca feels that, okay, company A, B, C, D, I see them as the best. It's like if you and I are friends, but then because of my friendship with you, I say, okay, we are going to do something. Let me contract Kofi and give him money to do the thing. In the end, they'll say, why would you bring Kofi? You could have brought acid. But you brought in Kofi because Kofi is your friend. There is conflict of interest. Ethical issues are different from corruption issues. Now, ethical issues are moral issues, wrong or right.
Continue.
Ethical issues are moral issues. You do not base on ethical issues and say that I have committed a crime. Barca have not committed a crime. Let's what is it called? Put that statement clear. Let's state let's make it clear. Barca have not committed a crime in contracting a prime come in contracting a private entity. Barca's only crime was the fact that even La Liga has admitted that there were issues of conflict of interest because the persons with which whose company you contracted at the time he was the vice president. So if such a person is giving you technical report, is there not the possibility that you can induce him to make decisions in your favor? But these were the questions La Liga asked, and they were legitimate questions. But La Liga again has said we have looked into the issues, the ethical issues, the legal issues, and we cannot punish them on any sporting basis. So one, for those thinking that Barca will be stripped of any title, they won't. Barca will be taken away from what is it called, UEFA, they won't. He says we are not going to punish them because we've looked into the matters. What the Spanish Federation are doing is that they feel that, and it is up to them. You see, the onus lies on you, Kofi. If you think I am guilty, the burden of proof lies on you to prove that I am guilty. How can they prove that indeed the money that was paid by Barcelona was supposed to or have been used to induce referees in their favor? How many referees have come out to say that yes, I received money A, money B, money C from so and so to induce games in their favor, or I allow this penalty to go because I received this money from this person? No, nobody has come out, and you cannot even prove that because there is no evidence of what inducing these referees. So I think that yes, we can question Barcelona on ethical ground. That's where I feel that Kofi was right in saying that why is it always Bartomeu, or why was it always Bartomeu? And you do not blame Barcelona. How would Barcelona know that Bartomeu is a criminal? And I agree that Barcelona has hurt Bartomeu has hurt Barcelona more than the club itself has even hurt the fans, because this man has run the club in one of the worst ways you can ever run a club. He's really hurt the club. But the point is, you do not blame Barcelona for having a bad president. You don't blame Barcelona, and they did nothing wrong. I cannot sit here and say that yes, the monies that were paid by Bartomeu to Denzel 95 were meant to induce referees to what is it called not take penalties. You brought up the issue about penalties. Is there a crime in going 2 years without being what is it called, having a penalty awarded against you? Show me a law in FIFA which says that there is a crime. So if the ball is not a penalty, chinchina, it is Barcelona, so they should take a penalty. No, I think that let's educate. In our education, let's set the parameters right. And I agree, there are ethical issues. But La Liga is saying we have looked into the matter. We will not punish Barcelona. So that's why Laporte is saying that all these Spanish federation, we are taking them to court on issue of corruption, is more or less like they have an agenda. And I feel that it's true because they're looking at what is happening in the league. Xavi's first season and he's blowing the league away. But Barcelona are 9 points ahead of Real Madrid. They are literally running away with the league. And for me, I feel it's a way to more or less create some form of destabilization in the club and make the players a bit uneasy. But it is not working because unless any of us sitting here and our viewers will tell us that Barcelona have committed a crime, somebody should prove to me where the crime is.
I'm coming. No. Let me just say something. You see, it's a shame to La Liga, and I will tell you some things. Everything that Barcelona has been charged, do you know that most of them, they were exonerated by La Liga?
Yeah.
I'm coming. This very La Liga issue, do you know that it had to take the Spanish authority to take Neymar's transfer into their own hands and make arrest?
Do you know why?
I'm coming.
Do you know why?
I'm coming. That is the first thing I want you to know.
Tell us
that
why.
With all of the issues that Barcelona has been involved in,
Yeah.
I always say that Javier Tebas himself is a sycophant. He goes about chasing PSG and City for all of their FFP and he comes to his own backyard and he cannot manage his own. I don't want us to, or else we'll be wasting the whole day.
Yeah.
What I actually wanted to point on is your issues about ethics. Do you know that almost every corruption issue in football, if it is 100%, about 80% of them are ethical issues that has been transcended into corruption. For everything that went on in FIFA 2015, with Michael Garcia's issue that he came in and toppled the oath, they were most of them ethical. And I gave you one. Michel Platini fell from the highest pedestal of football.
Back to the show. I hope that you guys are enjoying the show. You can only get this education from Sports 101, nowhere else. Guys, what do you make of this whole Barcelona scandal? Do you think that Barca did anything wrong? La Liga is saying that we've looked into the issue. Barca did nothing wrong. The Spanish FA feels that there is a lot to look into because they feel that there's been some corruption somewhere. Kofi and Percy, you know where they stand. But let me
We
take
don't stand
the
anywhere.
comments from our Facebook, our YouTube channel. Lots of comment. Let me see. Okay. So Prince Gakpe says that great job, guys. PK Jesse says good evening to you guys. More fire. Percy Kweko Kran says Hila. Emmanuel Kofi Awoni. So between the ministry and the FA, who has the power? Because if the ministry wants 3 years, how come the FA will opt for 1 year? I don't get it too. Hey, Emmanuel, myself, I don't get them. Basa and Kasa, I think I have to agree with Kofi. Now I have to agree with Kofi now that they are criminals. Yeah, I always disagree with him, but I think it's high time I agree with him. A4 Kofi, they are not A4. PK Jesse says Barcelona and Sporty Bet, no difference. PK Jesse's come back to say, if this is true, then betting companies owe us a lot of money. So Argento Studio says Barcelona's crime is to hide the payment they made to the firm. That's the crime. That's it. And you see, even that, no, I'm coming. Even that, it's not Barcelona who hid it. It is Diesel 95.
No,
What
Barcelona
Laporte did
never
was,
showed it
yes,
in their account.
what Laporte did was, he didn't
Barcelona-
show it in
no,
the account
no.
because it was not paid.
No.
Kofi.
No, why are the Spanish prosecutors going after Barcelona?
So, because
you
it
see,
was-
because if you go on and on
Yeah.
about the fact that Barcelona have not committed any criminal issue, the issue is that the Spanish prosecutors are going after Barcelona.
You know why?
They are going after Barcelona because there has been a lot of things that have been done on the blind side of the law.
So what Barca did was that it's like
And it's
I entered
criminal.
into an agreement with you, but the payment was not made official. So in the books
No,
of
you
Barcelona,
answer to the court.
in the
You
books of
answer to
Barcelona,
the court.
Barcelona can easily say I gave that money to you as more or less like
No, but
stipend.
it must be put on record that Barcelona have been charged for corruption by the Spanish prosecution.
See, a lot of people have been charged for corruption. As to whether we can prove it, you can prove that they are corrupt or not. That's another issue.
and I were not
But
there.
you and I were not there. That's another issue. But quickly, before we come back to the EPL, there's a lot to talk about in the EPL. I don't know whether we should. Okay, we'll go to the EPL because there's lots of action happening in the EPL. Let's listen. Personally, I have my own reservations when it comes to Liverpool, but there's no better place to start from Liverpool. After the, what's it? I'm sure my 7. After after the 7 goal drubbing of Manchester United, and they were on a 6 goal winning run. I was of the view that listen, Liverpool were on some form of upward trajectory, and I felt that okay, if this is how Liverpool are going, they might eventually end up in the top 4. I still feel that they will end up in the top 4 because of the inconsistency of Spurs, but not at the hands of Bournemouth. Kofi, you watched that game, right?
I did.
We'll speak to Jurgen Klopp's what is it called comments after the game. But what you make of that
The
game?
guy is simply not serious. But this is why the EPL is the best league in the world. That's why the EPL is the most competitive league in the world. It used to be the most competitive league in the world. Now it's the best league in the world. I mean, I think that it's not even up for debate. The best players are in the EPL.
The best
the
managers.
best coaches are in the EPL. And I think before we talk about the EPL, a lot has to be said about the BBC and their brouhaha with Gary Lineker and all of that brouhaha.
Charlie.
Probably we need to spare a lot of time for that also.
Yeah, we'll spare some
Yes.
time maybe when there's time. But even if there's not, then there's no time today.
Yeah, we'll try
I'm
and
sure,
we'll
yeah,
talk
on our
about
next
yes, we'll
episode,
talk about it. But I look at Liverpool, they are Robin Hood.
What do you mean by they are robbing?
Liverpool are Robin Hood.
They rob Peter to pay Paul.
They rob the rich and then give it to the generous, to the needy. So they rob Manchester United literally, and then give it to Bournemouth. Liverpool are a joke. You see, when last week I told you that the issues regards Liverpool and Manchester United, I do not think that one, it should be an indicator of where the two projects are currently. A lot of people misunderstood me. But the issues regards Liverpool and Manchester United, it comes to down to desire, it comes down to who wants it the most, and it comes down to not just the ability of the players, but it comes down to all of the euphoria around. There's a particular cliche in football that you play the game, you do not play the moment. You
Okay.
understand? You play the game, you do not play the moment. I think that Manchester United did last week, the capital sin that they committed last week
They
was to
play the
play.
moment.
They play the moment. You understand? Because this is the biggest fixture in the history of English football, and so they went there, all guns blazing, chest pumped, hitting their chest. You understand? I mean, thinking of playing the moment. Liverpool played the game. They played simply the game and they executed their plan to perfection. But I remember telling you last week that Liverpool's problems will not go away because of this defeat to Manchester United. The truth of the matter is that Liverpool do not deserve to be in the top four. And for me, if I
Why do
think
you
that
think Liverpool do not deserve to be in the top
yes, I
four?
mean they have been terrible all season. A 7 goal drubbing of Manchester United does not all of a sudden pepper all of the cracks. Liverpool have been absolutely terrible for a team that were fighting on major three fronts, four fronts last season to fall from this grace. You understand? Only Ronaldo and free SHS probably can explain. You understand? I mean that's just by the way. But the issues are all too clear. The one, there are major structural issues with Liverpool. Two, Liverpool are consistently inconsistent. And I'm glad that we've talked about some of the very best teams in the world. I'm sure that we talk about your very good friend Messi, and he's showing with
We'll speak about. We have
Goretzka and
time
all
for
of those
PSG.
other,
Yeah,
yeah, all of the Goretzka. Yesterday, I heard he gave a wonderful pass against Brest. You understand?
yeah.
Against Brest in the league. So we talk about. I'm happy we talked about all the best teams in the world. The one thing, look at Arsenal. Look at the Arsenal project. The one thing that runs through the very best teams in the world today, one has to be consistency.
So you are subtly admitting that Arsenal is one of the best teams in the world.
In the EPL.
Okay. We'll come
Obviously,
back to
if
that.
Arsenal are leading the EPL, they are there on merit. The league table never lies. Even though I've always held the assertion that they will eventually bottle it.
Recorded.
But oh no, come on. I mean, every show is recorded. But I have always held the view that the league table never lies. Arsenal are where they are because of one, consistency. Look, when Arsenal have played on bad days, they found ways to grind results. Liverpool against Bournemouth. Which one player came to the party?
Kofi, don't you think that is also one of those games, just like after the United game, United fans were saying that, listen, oh, it's one of those blip. It happens, these things happen in football. Because Liverpool had won 5 games up until that game against Bournemouth. Actually, 6 games up until that game against Bournemouth. Don't you think that it was just a blip? Because if you look at that game, they missed loads of chances. It was one of those games that I would say Liverpool just had a bad day in the office.
I don't think it was a bad day because you had a penalty, you blew it away.
Exactly.
They had chances. I struggled to find how many chances that Liverpool had in that said game. I looked at the chances. I looked at the body language of the players. I looked at their outputs last week. I tried to measure it with their output against Bournemouth. Listen, if you're a team that's gone on that kind of form, the least you can do, and I'm sure people have listened to us, people have watched us on YouTube. The least you can do is to dispatch these opponents quickly. Because listen, Liverpool technically still have the Champions League to play. They still believe they can go to the Bernabeu and misbehave there. You understand? I mean, yes, I mean they carry all of this notion around. So you were expecting that this is Bournemouth. This is Bournemouth which is struggling. Look at what Bournemouth did to us. These are not going to be pushovers. So I do not know what happened in the team meetings. I do not know delivered to the players. I simply do not know what happened. But the truth of the matter is that is that you look at Liverpool, they have they have swung between the extremities. You understand? They've either been very good or they've been very terrible. You understand? Against Manchester United, they were out of this
There's
world.
never been a point that Liverpool are caught up in the middle.
They have never been in the middle. I mean, all season they have swung at the various ends of the
The polar
pendulum.
ends of it.
Yes, I mean they are either very good, they are either very excellent, they are either too terrible, they are shambolic, they are all over the place. They are very organized. So Liverpool, and for me, for a coach who has coached this team for too long, you do not get to let them get away with this
Finally,
level of
Spurs
murder.
won, against Forest. We're thinking that, okay, if Liverpool had won, they would have actually broken into the top 4. But they losing gave Spurs the opportunity to cement their place in the top 4. And now Liverpool have a game in hand, to play. If they win that game, they'll still be in fit position. Do you still think that Liverpool will make the top 4?
I don't.
Looking at the inconsistent
Well,
Spurs.
I don't think that Liverpool deserve to be in the top
It's
four.
not about who deserves it, because we all agree. You and I
No,
agree
let me
that you
let
feel
me be,
Arsenal
let,
don't deserve to
well,
win
let
the
me be
title,
frank with you.
but will they do
Let me
it?
be frank with you. And I'll be very frank with you. I do not think that Liverpool will be worthy carriers of the EPL in the Champions League this season or next season. I don't think so. I think that other projects are well placed to be better proponents of that particular league. You understand? Because I believe that if you look at projects like Arsenal, yes, I know that a lot of people will be laughing because Arsenal in the Champions League, they are like polar ends. You understand? When you speak about Champions League, Arsenal fans begin to run away because they know they are there to make the numbers. Yes, so maybe hopefully they get to rectify. They have how many goals in the history of the Champions League final? One goal. Yeah,
Who?
Arsenal.
Uh,
One final since
yeah,
creation.
one final.
Since creation, when God
What?
said, "Let there be
What
light."
is it
No,
with
well,
you and Arsenal fans,
no. I
viewers?
just want to zero in on the detail. You understand?
We'll talk about
Yes.
Arsenal, but
So
if you
so
Liverpool don't
so
deserve to be in the top
I
4,
think that I've looked at Spurs. Spurs are out of the Champions League. They're out of all cup competitions. So they get to just focus all of their energies in playing the league. You understand?
Liverpool are also almost out of all competition
No, I
because
still believe they
after the
can.
Champions
I still
League, they're
believe
out.
they can go and misbehave at the Bernabeu. I still believe that this
I'll
is
take that as a
Liverpool. Yeah,
sarcastic
no,
comment.
I am very serious. I still believe that they can go to the Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid by 6 goals to 0 because this is Liverpool. You understand? Yeah, they can go there and do that. And they can do to Madrid what they did to
So
Manchester
they don't
United.
deserve to be in the
They
top
don't
4.
deserve to be in the top four.
Percy, we sat here and we spoke about Arsenal. Kofi has already said that, listen, Arsenal are not making the top, they are not winning the title. Some part of me believes that Arsenal are winning the title. What they did today against Fulham, I thought that Fulham were going to give them a tough game because of Fulham's consistent form. Listen, Fulham was it 6th or 7th on the league
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
Fulham are one of the top performers this season, and at home they've been amazing. And one of Arsenal's deficiencies is Fulham's strength. Arsenal deficiency is they're very weak in the air, especially defending corners, and that's where Fulham thrives with Mitrovic and the likes. But they literally in the first half they blew them away 3-0, game done, game set and match. Are you still doubting Arsenal, the competencies of Arsenal? Because you are also one of those proponents or one of those naysayers who believe that Arsenal are not winning the title. But Arsenal keep defying the odds. They keep telling people that, listen, you can doubt us. City closed the gap on Saturday to 2. They stretch the gap back to 5. Are you still doubting Arsenal?
If we don't doubt him, then what Arsenal? Then why are we here?
Why do you doubt that
No, but why are
Arsenal
we
can?
here?
Why do you doubt that
We are
Arsenal
here to
can win?
criticize. We are not here to heal.
What
We use what you've done before. I'm coming. That is what the meaning of analysis or an analyst. An analyst is somebody who takes a stretch of events, and use that to come up with a possible outcome. So we have seen us now. I'll always be a proponent of 2013, 2014. There was no first season. Arsenal were a high fly, even better than this. They were scoring goals left, right, center. 5 matches to the season. They had to relinquish their position to Liverpool, who later relinquished it to City, and they were fourth. they were looking for a Champions League slot. I'm not saying this is the, but you look at this Arsenal this season. When Gabriel Jesus went, he was injured. We were thinking of what was going to happen. Then Edin Nketiah popped up and he was doing wonders. He was scoring some terrific goals, even at killing United and all of that. And he also got injured. Then Trossard came in. We were of okay. What happens to Arsenal now? And Trossard today he gave a hat trick of assist.
Yeah. He
And
was
watching
brilliant
and
today.
watching Arsenal. Someone was comparing this to Invincible, and I said nobody in this team will even sit on the bench on Invincible. Nobody will sit on the
Yeah,
bench.
that's a mismatch.
They will even sit on the bench.
Very few of the even
Partey
this
will not sit.
Arsenal
No, Partey will
players
not sit
would
on the
make
bench.
the starting 11 of
No,
City or even United.
When I
Very
say when
few.
I say to start, it's too much. They won't sit on the bench. Partey will not get a bench position to sit.
We'll
so
not
that one's
debate
another
that.
day.
We'll not debate
We won't
that.
debate that. But this Arsenal season, I wouldn't say they are capitalizing on the negativities of their competitors. They are just good. I have to admit it. They are just good.
But they won't win.
You can liken, you see, when Leicester City started 2015, 2016, that's what we started with. The only team that was able to take maximum point from them was Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they went in the marathon. You see, I would always say that the Leicester City triumph for 2016 is the biggest upset in football since football started. Not even the Greece. The Greece 2004, they won. Because to go on a marathon on a 38 match, that is the whole season, is a difficult thing. And Arsenal keeps disputing. Because with United, they managed to beat United. They've done it over and over. And I always say that to win the league, Mourinho will tell you, you don't need to beat the big guys to win the league.
The league is
No.
dependent from the 10th position.
Just when you get the small side like Fulham, discipline them.
Exactly.
And that is exactly what they are doing. We thought maybe a hangover will catch up with them, but they've done well even without their so-called star players, and they've done good purchases within January, bringing in Jorginho to be a backup for what was a very good signing. They've done good signings, and watching us now, I thought they would burn out by now. Now Gabriel Jesus is rejuvenated them back. Meaning that now the attack is now more potent than ever. Now they can choose between Saka, Martinelli. Trossard has just fitted in very well. And you also have Gabriel Jesus coming in. And this Arsenal team, I am still not going to tout them. Because like I said, that's what analysts do. Because I've seen Arsenal of 07, 08, Arsenal of 08, 09, Arsenal of 13, 14. And in the end, they went home with virtually nothing. So I only pray. I always told you that City, no, let me just end with it.
Okay.
City likes the marathon.
Yeah.
They don't start with you. They wait for you to start.
For some reason, City have started their thing.
They stay behind.
On the other
You win, they win.
Seven game of
Yes,
beating-
yes,
of
you
beating
win,
and
they
they've
win.
started
You
gradually.
win, they win. You win, they win. So the next match, let's say if Arsenal makes a mistake, we've not even talked about their last 5 matches.
But that's not making any mistake.
I'm saying that's why I used an if cross.
Okay.
If they make a mistake, City will win. Look at the way they grind the results against Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
They will
that-
grind it,
that
they
was-
will win.
That was a tough win.
Arsenal versus City at Etihad is a lost cause. They should put it in their head.
But for some reason, I don't think that the title will be decided against City because by the time Arsenal play City, they would have gone to Liverpool, right? They would have played that Liverpool game. They would have played Liverpool. They would have played Chelsea. So by that time, I think they would have seen changes. So people should forget about Arsenal City.
No,
because
I'm not saying
that
that.
game against because
I am just saying that game,
whatever
that
Chelsea
game is
are
a
also
minus
doing,
3 plus 3.
Chelsea seem to also picking up the pieces.
Chelsea versus Arsenal. Chelsea will not lose.
Who's playing at home?
It's not about who is playing where.
Oh, then Arsenal will win. If it's been played at the Emirates, that's Arsenal will win. But Arsenal will go to Anfield. That will be more or less like the Achilles heel. They feel that United took 7. Arsenal will be going there. So that game against City, I think that a lot of people should, take their
It's a
minds
dead
off
rubber,
it.
it's a dead
because
rubber.
by the time they come up against City, the
job would
lead
have been
would
done.
probably be the same, or it will just be trimmed to about.
Why are you not saying that the job would have been done?
No, I still think that Arsenal.
No, but putting issues in perspective
Uh-huh.
and dealing with the numbers,
Okay.
and this is purely hypothetical. If Arsenal lose to Liverpool at Anfield and City win, it means that the gap now remains 2. You understand? And so if they come to the Etihad, City will know that they can wrestle the top position and then have their destiny in their hands. Do you understand? So
What?
if Arsenal go to where United were beaten by 7, you understand? And this is purely hypothetical. This is purely hypothetical. And this is all granted that City also win their matches. You understand? That's not really a given.
Exactly.
We saw against Crystal Palace that there's no easy game in the APL.
Yeah.
But if City do win their matches and Arsenal goes to Anfield and loses at Anfield and then are coming to Etihad, City will know that, listen, when we beat Arsenal, and I think that when it comes to crunch, that's why I have the firmest belief. Listen, Chelsea are undergoing a new revolution. Call it whatever you want. I
Three
think
game, you know,
yes.
three
I
games
mean, I think that
unbeaten run.
Potter.
That's 3, and everybody, the Chelsea fans are excited.
I'm telling you,
That
I'm
means saying Enzo is better than Partey.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you know, you know, you know,
You
you know,
see the
you know,
mindset
you know,
of Chelsea
you know,
fans.
you know why I'm excited about. You know why.
3 games.
You know why I'm
Leeds
excited.
United, what's his name? Leicester City.
Yeah,
And
I'm
they will not let
excited.
us sleep.
I'm excited for Chelsea fans because when we went on the international break, every time you see them, they are not too excited. You understand? These days, they are all over the place. Hasta la vista. We are back. We are back. We are back. You understand? I'm happy. I'm happy because I think that when Chelsea do well, Chelsea in the last 10 years have been one of the biggest imports in the APL. I mean, take it or leave it. They have a terrible record in the domestic. They have 6 league trophies, but when they've gone to Europe, I think they've been worthy representatives of the APL in the Champions League or in the Europa League, wherever they've been to. So you cannot discount their ability to perform on the biggest of stages in the last decade and beyond. You understand? So Chelsea, when they do well, I've always held one particular opinion that if the teams that are supposed to offer the competition in the league are doing well, what it does is that it preps the other teams in the EPL for what potentially they could face in the Champions League. Because when you come up against Jurgen Klopp, when you come up against Arteta, when you come up against Ten Hag, when you come up against who else? I mean, all of these top managers in Conte, come on, put him in the dustbin. When you come up against Conte, when you come up against my good friend Eddie Howe, you come up against varying tactics that could help mold your team for all of the things adventure in Europe. You understand? So I think that when the other top teams are performing well, it equips the other teams who are playing in the Champions League to have a team that is all round. You understand? That can compete better in the Champions League. Because listen, there has to be an end game of all this dominance. When the Spanish teams were dominating the world, there was empirical data to show that they were the kings of Europe. So I think that if the pendulum has swung, the English teams have to make sure that they are putting on empirical data that seeks to suggest that position that the APL is the best league in the world.
So I'll come back to you, but I'll take some comments. But guys, Eric Ten Hag under under Manchester United, or Manchester United under Eric Ten Hag, Mikel Arteta under what or Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, you think has had the most impact? Listen, Ten Hag may not have won any trophy, but if you look at the body, you call that what is it called? Sulele Park trophy, a trophy.
You need to respect yourself.
Oh, that Carabao Cup is not a trophy. But guys, let's look at the body of work that Eric Ten Hag has done at Manchester United and the body of work, Arteta has done at Arsenal. Who do you think has had the most impact on his club? We can have that poll on in the comment section. Who do you think has had the most impact? Let's hear your take on this. Who has had the most impact, Eric Ten Hag or Mikel Arteta. But let me take some comments and we'll come back to continue the discussion. If you are enjoying the discussion, you are listening to us live on Tidy FM 99.1, and we are also live on our Facebook. This is Sports 101. You cannot get this anywhere else. Let me take some comments. Where did I end? So Barcelona's okay, yes. So VP Reality say that Barca should be punished. Being what they did, being unethical is not a crime, but they are always embroiled themselves in dubious act. Being embroiled in dubious act does not mean you've committed a crime. Just like they say, you're a bad boy, you're a bad boy. You're a bad boy does not mean you deserve to go to jail. So that's not a problem. Larry says that good evening, everyone. I mean now who missed me? We missed you. Greetings from the top of the table. How is life down there? So Arsenal fans, they are greeting you guys. Those who are down there, how is life down there? City is down there. Liverpool is down there. Down there, Pane. Chelsea, they are 10th. You guys are down there more. So Larry says that imagine a terrible team beating a team in the form of their lives in a long while by 7 goals to 0. Manchester United is a team of yesterday. It is history FC. You ain't coming back anytime soon. Lyrics again says that Percy, you are not there to criticize, you are there to analyze. You are a good pundit, but you seem to let your envy for Arsenal get the best of you. Anyway, deal with the pain. Why? Still on. That's the problem. People keep on criticizing Arsenal, but week in, week out, they keep defying the odds. So you guys should keep on criticizing. Arsenal will keep, what is it called? Putting you guys to shame. So Kazola says that Arsenal's strength is in the CBs. If they stay fit, they will win it. PK says that Manchester United will win. They will win the league by 7 up points. So I see you. Keep the fire burning. So guys, keep the comments coming, and those who want to join us in our comment section on WhatsApp, those who are listening to us via Tidy FM, you can send your WhatsApp messages on the number WhatsApp line 0242 145249 0242145249. I take it again, 0242145249. So we want to see your WhatsApp messages if you are listening to us live on Tadi FM. So we'll take the poll. Ten Hag at United, Arteta at Arsenal. Who has had the most impact? I'm not talking about who is winning what or who is dog. Who has impact in terms of relevance, in terms of improvement, in terms of quality. That is what. Who has had the most impact, guys? Let's see your comment, or let's hear your comment in the comment section. Lionel Messi. We've talked about Messi. We've talked about Messi. I thought that bringing Messi to PSG, his partnership with Neymar, his friendship with Neymar, and the quality of Kylian Mbappe, together with Campos, who has fresh ideas, is not a Leonardo who loves to play with the politics and all of that. They signed some few players, Vitinho and all of these guys, but PSG again fumbled, and this time, no, they didn't even make it to the quarterfinals at the round of 16. They bowed out to Bayern Munich, and for some of us, we feel that it's done and dusted for Lionel Messi. Let's first look at Lionel Messi and his legacy. Then we'll quickly switch to, is that the end? Should we say, is that the end? It's over. We thought that maybe he could do something with PSG, but after this, for me, awful of a performance with PSG against Bayern Munich.
You talked about Barcelona, triumph with Barcelona. And
the last time he won a trophy was in 2015.
My good friend Percy is here. When Percy is here, I'm not really worried about all of the details of history and chronology. You understand? I mean, Messi has been a winning force in Europe since Neymar left him as his sidekick. Let me take it again. Since Neymar left to PSG, Messi has been a winning force. In fact, he's been an object of ridicule.
Okay. Why do you say that?
We can talk about Rome. My good friend made that commentary. What's the name of that? The Greek player. The Greek god. What's his name? Exactly. So it started with Rome.
It started with Juventus.
Okay. I don't even want to go back to it. But let me go back to Rome. Then they went to corner taking quickly. Anfield. I don't know why Percy is excited. I'll come back to
when I saw the production, when I saw the production, I knew this was going to happen. I knew the mockery with which I knew the
was my
mock,
first ringtone. Corner taking quickly.
I knew the mockery with which and the tangents you would for the sake
So,
of the show.
corner taking quickly.
Uh-huh.
Origi, hero. Then
Thomas Muller.
Mr. Muller. What they did to Barcelona, I 8-2.
Yeah.
You see, all of this should tell you something. And indeed, it's been reported. People do not want to hear it's an unpopular opinion. But Argentina won the World Cup with the aid of witches and wizards. No. I mean, listen. It's well documented. You understand? With witches, you understand? So it's apparent that the devil does not give any free lunch. Obviously, if you consulted the devil to give you the World Cup with the help of witches, you understand? Obviously, there was something that had to give. I think Lionel Messi is done. And I think all of you who carry that theory that he's the best player to have ever graced the game, bow your head down in shame.
No, I won't bow down my
No,
head because
you know why?
I don't
Because
watch Pele.
the theory had always been that Lionel Messi has been about the goals. He's been about the other things but the goals. So we expected that, okay, against elite opponents, against top level opponents. And make no mistake, there were players who at Lionel Messi's age were still elite. I can cite 1,001 examples.
Give 1,001 examples.
Ronaldo at 34
He
was
won
still
the,
a
he,
four.
he won the
Hold on.
He won the what? He won the what? At where?
Hold on.
At which league?
Zinedine Zidane.
Syria.
Zinedine Zidane.
Seriously, are you comparing the League One to Syria?
So you look at Lionel Messi.
worry,
I think it was already a failed project allowing Lionel Messi to come in, because this is a guy who has proven in the past that he's nothing beyond a mercenary. Lionel Messi is the biggest mercenary footballer's ever seen. Listen, Lionel Messi is the reason why Barcelona is in all of this wahala. When he signed that new contract,
What?
you see that new contract. Hold on.
Producer, you are
I
not
don't know.
being fair. We are talking
This is not about being
Messi's
fair.
legacy in the Champions League.
Yes, we are talking about his legacy, and I'm telling you that when
not
PSG
talking about
signed
Messi's
Lionel
legacy.
Messi, they knew that. Listen, there was a time that people, when they were going to fight in Congo, they had to bring rebels from Malawi. You understand? This is Congo, PSG. You are bringing in rebels from Malawi. Lionel Messi is a paid mercenary. The biggest paid mercenary in the history of
Where do
football.
you think he should go from here as a player?
Japan.
Messi respects Messi.
You know Urawa Reds.
Anyway,
I
where do you
honestly,
think he should go from here?
well, I think
as
he
a
needs to
player?
go to Saudi Arabia. He
Al
needs to go to
Ittihad.
But
Saudi
there's talk about he returning to Barcelona
Oh,
and they giving him at least a year's contract.
Oh, God.
Then
I-
properly
eh,
send him
no,
off
let me tell you
with his
something. Let me-
legacy
let
at the
me-
club
let me tell you
because they
something.
feel that
Let
they
me tell you
didn't
something.
send him
You see-
off
you see-
well
you see,
for what he has done for the club.
The reason why Barcelona are criminals, run by criminals, played for by criminals.
Again, it's become a broken
You know why?
record.
You know why? Nobody does what they did to Barcelona and then comes back to the club. The club shouldn't even be entertaining that
It
thought.
tells you his legendary
No,
status.
what Messi did to Barcelona.
It tells you his
If he
legendary
ever
status.
loved that club,
Today and take
oh
your
come
money
on!
tomorrow.
If he loved the club, he wouldn't have done what he did.
So
That new contract that he signed, 721 million euros in 4 years.
where would you rate Lionel Messi in, let's say, in the history of the Champions League?
Well, I
Top
think he's
five
the
players,
well, I think he's
top
the
10
second
players.
best player to Cristiano Ronaldo in the history of
In
the
the history of the
Yes, I
Champions
think he's the second best player to Ronaldo. Obviously, when it comes to the Champions League, Ronaldo is peerless. Nobody comes close to
it's
but
undebatable.
you cannot fault the intelligence and the brilliance of Lionel Messi. I think that he's been a great football ambassador in this generation. There are not so many players, even if you want to roll back. There are not so many players who have had the skill set of Lionel Messi. And the one thing I love about
Longevity as well.
yes, longevity, dedication, commitment. It looks like age has caught up with him. So
Yeah, finally.
now you don't expect Lionel Messi to be doing all of the running. A lot of journalists were furious with the PSG team because they felt that when they lost the ball, they were even walking back.
That was one of the
They were
problems.
walking
Even
back.
Kylian Mbappe, who is a young guy, you expect to
No,
track back.
the truth of the matter is that Kylian Mbappe, when he plays for PSG, that's not tackle. That's not fall back to
But
defense.
Percy would. I'll take Percy's take on PSG, but you feel, Messi's done
Yes.
in Europe. He's
Yes.
done.
Yes.
In Messi's next move, should it be in Europe?
Money. It has to be about the money. So listen, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
US
Let me tell you something.
and Saudi Arabia,
Let me tell you
where
something.
should he end up?
Let me tell you something. Messi does not have anything to prove to anyone again.
We all know that.
His legacy
But he
is
doesn't even need the
cemented.
money. He has the money.
No, he
already.
needs the money. Nobody, hey, he
Ronaldo-
needs the money.
Ronaldo
Ronaldo needs the
signs
money.
millions
You know,
of dollars
when Ronaldo is running against Al Butubu, you understand?
Guys,
Messi needs to go to Saudi Arabia and make the money.
this is what you get on a Sunday after a very, on a Sunday after a very hectic weekend. Quality analysis. It's fun. Listen, subscribe to Sports 101. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on Tad FM 99.1 FM. For those who have not subscribed, please click the subscription button. And if you come online, there are lots of people watching online. Please like the program. Click on the like button as well. And kindly share. Share on your Facebook wall. Share on your WhatsApp pages. And, those in the studios, if you have not shared, please share the link. And tell your friends that, listen, the best sports show on Sundays is live on YouTube. Sport 101. Percy, remember we did a show in one of our episodes. I think we need to let our viewers go back to
they
that
have to go and watch it.
solid, analysis
With
on the
PSG.
PSG project. For me, I held my own notion about this PSG project, but I'm beginning to think that, listen,
a lost cause.
the guys at PSG should admit that we came in with the wrong mentality and the wrong approach. Where do PSG go from here? Because we've accepted it's a wrong project. Where do they go from here?
They should follow Monaco and Anzi Cascada. If you follow them, PSG.
Where do they go from here?
I said they should follow Monaco and Anzi
Because they've
Cascada.
tied Kylian Mbappe to a 3-year contract. They still have Kylian Mbappe. Lionel Messi will leave at the end of the season.
Don't worry.
There are a lot of players who would ship out. Campos is talking about shipping a lot of players out. But where do they go from here?
See,
I think still be there.
PSG,
If you're thinking about who are you bringing?
PSG actually have affirmed the fact that Roman Abramovich is the best sports entrepreneur of all time.
Solid man.
If nobody will give it to him, I will give it to him.
You can disagree with his methods.
A lot of managers or a lot of people, you can probably talk about AC Milan's man.
Yeah.
Who started
Adriano Galliani.
Galliani was the one who was contracted to do that. I've forgotten his name. Berlusconi.
Silvio Berlusconi, the man who loved kids.
He didn't love kids. It's a different thing. We'll talk about that. He was set up. You see how he started his. When our Abramovich man started with this whole thing, the way he went about it was something that a lot of these teams wanted to start.
Yeah.
And one of them was PSG, but their approach was wrong. If a City, that is the Etihad people, came in, but they did not go with the steps Chelsea took. PSG project was a 5-year project to win Champions League, 2011 to 2016. Chelsea did not come with a project to win Champions League in 5 years. Chelsea came with a project to make them relevant. If you listen to Abramovich and why he bought Chelsea, and he started it so small, he never bought elite players in even his first 3 seasons. The biggest player he bought that probably was Drogba. But who was Drogba? ACN, Joe Cole, Robin. All of these players were not players who were elite. They came in step by step.
To be fair, Joba
He had made his name at
Of course, like I said,
he was about the best striker in France.
Then the competition.
And even Asian.
Yes.
Asian was
Lyon,
was
yes.
courted by PSG, Lyon, some of
I get what you're
the
saying.
big
I am not
class when
saying
he
that they
was
were
at.
bad players,
Yeah.
but they were not A-list players. They never did that. And they didn't go in also for A-list managers in the beginning. Although Mourinho had won the Champions
Won
League,
the
but
Champions
he
League,
was somebody.
the hottest
He
manager
went
in
for the
Europe.
hottest kick to start. Now look at PSG. In contrast, even City, they started with Mark Hughes. And look at the first player they bought. He want to start a project that should be relevant. You go for a fading Robinho who knows nothing to do with Real Madrid, and you continue with Elano just because Elano was a best player in Brazil. You come with him, and things start falling out, and they change minds. And PSG came in, Qatar Sports Investment with Khalifi. They started, and the first player they bought was Javier Pastore.
Yeah.
They started with their 5-year project, and they came in. There was Nene, there was what do you call it, Jeremy Menez. All of these people. Then the next season they went for Ibra. Then the next season they went for Cavani. That is where I realized they were lost. How can you go in for two elite center forward and force one to play on the wings?
So you think that the entire PSG
It
project
was wrong from the beginning.
Was
They
was
had no,
doomed
they
to
had
fail
no direction.
from the onset.
They had no direction
Where
from
do
the
they
onset.
go from here?
What they have, that's why I said, probably when I said Angie Macascala and I talked about Monaco, you didn't understand. Angie Macascala started this project. They wanted to build an elite team. A Russian billionaire wants to make it relevant to them. But they brought Eto, made him the highest paid in the world. He was taking over $400,000 a month.
Yeah.
When the man realized that his money was going to drain, he collapsed the whole thing, sacked all the players, and paid them off.
So they should collapse the entire project
Because
and
whatever
start
is
all over again.
See, this PSG project was part of Carter's 10-year project so that they will become relevant to the Europeans. That is the whole thing, which includes PSG was one of the reasons why they hosted the World Cup.
That's true.
So after the World Cup, they said Qatar has won the. Why do you think they said Qatar has won the World Cup?
Well, they have won. Now they've become relevant in Europe, and we are all
The
talking
reason
about
why
this
they
World
said-
Cup being the best World
The
Cup.
reason
we've
why
seen
they
in a
said
long
Qatar
while.
has won the World Cup was that their elite players that they prized from the biggest team has won. So what Mbappe won or Messi won, Qatar has won. So now it's a failed project. Khalifi himself admitted that whatever they wanted to do is now flawed. Now you just wanted to show muscles to Real Madrid and flex your muscles that I can keep him. You even brought Macron in to make the boy stay. Now he stayed. You priced all. In fact, you changed him Barca's hand and took Neymar from him. You sports the market
I'm sure
just
Neymar, Neymar sits back and
they sports the market.
He didn't leave Barcelona, because if Neymar had stayed at Barcelona, his relevance would have been more and would have made more impact as a player for himself, and even
The
with
prince who never became a king.
Exactly. Because his move to PSG literally derailed him. He may have scored a lot of goals at PSG.
He's never
but
been
Neymar was one
relevant.
of the hottest, more like the heir apparent to the Messi Ronaldo throne.
As at 2013,
He
they
left to,
projected
to leave the shadows of but he
only to
still
be in the shadows of
eventually-
Kylian Mbappe.
Exactly.
So now, what they have to do, if they really want to make this work, in fact,
Quickly,
they've done well
let's
by
move
putting
on.
themselves on the map. We know they are rich.
Okay.
The best thing they can do, because you brought in the biggest of managers, you brought in
Disband this
Ancelotti.
project.
So just disband it,
Disband
let
this
them go
project.
their way and
Kofi,
start.
the Champions League is coming up, but before we wrap up, we'll bow out very soon. Before we check out, we cannot leave without talking about Ja Moran and his issues. I've been seeing pictures on social media, at a strip club, and I said, wow, this guy, he doesn't know who he is. Does he know his
compared himself with
his
Jordan.
personality? We'll speak about, and we'll probably maybe for the basketball fans, we'll throw out this question: which duo in the basketball world right now are the best duo? I mean, we could look at the duos around, but were we too harsh on Graham Potter? The Dortmund that you said Chelsea would lose to, they beat them. They've gone on to win this weekend. Chelsea are through to the quarterfinals. We are talking about the Champions League. Were we too harsh on Graham Potter? 60 seconds. We look at Liverpool, Real Madrid. Liverpool traveled to what is it called? Bernabeu. First off, were we too harsh on Graham Potter?
No,
Because we sat in the studios of Sports 101, and our producer would give us evidence. We were categorical. They were not making the quarterfinals. Dortmund will beat them, but they put Dortmund to their place. Whether you may have issues with the penalty and all of that, but this issue of ball to hand, hand to ball, for me, even me, I don't understand. Some of the referees, Grabo does not understand. Today it's blue. It is the Chelsea are through. Were we too harsh on Potter?
Well, I remember some few minutes ago telling you that when it comes to the Dortmund are a bigger team than Chelsea. Make no mistake about that. They are a bigger team than Chelsea. But I'm saying that when it comes to relevance,
I will contest
no,
that.
no, Chelsea are not bigger than
We'll
Dortmund.
do that another day.
I
I'll
mean, no,
contest that
please
any day.
don't even wade into that level of politics.
Dortmund can never be big than Chelsea.
Not
You
Dortmund are
continue.
bigger than Chelsea in every state. But you see, I am focused. I mean, but you see, the issue is that regards Chelsea
Yeah.
in the last 10, 15 years, they're a cathedral when it comes to
The
the
Champions
Champions
League.
League. They've been there, they've seen it,
They've
they've
done
felt
it.
the pain. You see, there were days when I was not excited. I would go to back to play that John Terry penalty miss
And
against
you
Van
just
der
sit
Sar.
back, get a
When
bottle of
when
Coke.
when I
You know,
played, I'm excited. I'm like, what was he thinking? I'm John Terry, really? But you see, Chelsea have had to go through the agony of Rebel, Wolfgang Stang. They've had to go through all of the depths and the mountains, and it's made them a tougher club. So when it comes to the Champions League, yes, they might be struggling. Yes, Dortmund may have some of the brightest young players in the world right now, but the experience, the mentality of Chelsea, the wind goes beyond the metal of Graham Potter.
did you not know? Did you not know all this?
Make no mistake.
No, did you not know all
See,
this?
Graham
When you
Potter,
sat
Graham
in the
Potter,
studios of
Graham
and
Potter,
made the bold prediction that
Gra-
Chelsea will be beaten by
that's fine.
Borussia
That's
Dortmund. Did you
fine.
not know
That's
all
fine. I
this?
mean, Percy talks about job description. Sometimes we get it wrong. I mean, and when we get it wrong, we admit that we get it wrong. But you see, the issue is that Porter is now behaving like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When he hears that he wants to be fired,
Then
hey, he'll come to Ivory Coast. You understand? There is some man be called Nana Bobo at the border. You understand? Graham Potter. This is just by the way. I think that there is intrinsic motivation within the coach and his camp, his technical team, to want to survive another day. If you're dealing with a man who plays with survival by the day, you're dealing with a dangerous commodity.
Will Liverpool cause the biggest upset in Champions League history? Because if Liverpool are able to do this, for me, it will be the not just big in terms of the scoreline, the team with which they do it against. Because Real Madrid is the citadel of
Football.
European football. They go to Anfield with a lead of 5-2. 3 goal, advantage. Come on.
Let me
Even
just
cities
let me just stand up.
will Liverpool
If this was not
be
live
able
radio,
to
if this,
overcome
it-
the odds.
you see, if this was, I would lie prostrate on the ground
Uh-huh.
and implore all of us to say a word of prayer for Liverpool.
Meaning,
They are going to be mauled. No, you see,
have you been watching Real Madrid?
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
hold on.
How many
hold
guys
on,
have been?
Hold on,
How many?
hold on, hold on.
Have you seen Real Madrid lately?
Hold on. We are not here to cajole with egos. You see, when the Bible talks about a beating of a beating, it's what will happen at the Bernabeu. They will beat them a beating.
I would need this part.
Oh yes, they will beat them a beating. Karim Benzema will be back. His sidekicks, Valverde, Vinicius. You see, when I'm pretty sure that when Trent Alexander-Arnold dreams, sleeps and wakes up and thinks that and thinks that I have to go again against Vinicius, I'm sure that he's telling his kids, Charlie, be quick and go to school. I need to focus. I need to put on the. Listen, make no mistake. They will not go to the Camp Nou, Bernabeu and do anything. They will be beaten. In fact, the game ended at Liverpool. You do not allow somebody to come to your home, take a 2-goal advantage, and then you are beaten by 5 goals to 2, and expect that when you go there, you're going to do anything. In any case, if Real Madrid fail to beat Liverpool by 4 goals to 0, I'll be very disappointed. In fact, I would wish that they will beat Liverpool by 7. You understand? I would wish that they will beat Liverpool by 7. You understand?
United fans are still hurt by that 7-0.
We need to balance that chemical equation. But I mean, on a more serious note, I don't think that they can go to the
You don't
Bernabeu and
think that, you see, Liverpool is one of those teams who have also cut their teeth in Europe very well. And I saw that final. I was behind my TV
AC Milan
sitting
was
in.
drunk.
Yes, AC Milan is
At
my
half, no,
original
no.
club.
At
And that
halftime, they drank
and that
alcohol.
AC Milan team. I
Yeah.
mean, you know that
Yes,
team.
I mean, at halftime, they
That
drank
team.
alcohol. I mean, that's well documented.
Maldini, Nesta,
They never won a
Shevchenko.
They-
But
it is
still,
not this one. Oh.
No, you
but
see,
that AC Milan team to go up 3-0 and with that Liverpool character, listen, forget about however you saw that Liverpool Barcelona game, but Barcelona had everything
corner
to qualify.
corner taking
Yet,
quickly.
you see, when it comes
Are
to
you referring to
you
corner
spoke
taking
about the
quickly?
Champions League, yeah. You spoke about
Corner
the
taking
Champions
quickly.
League and the spirit behind it, the mentality behind it. You keep talking about Chelsea and what Chelsea represents for England when it comes to the Champions League. Liverpool have that thing in them.
No,
Don't
let
you
me tell
think that if they're able to
Lucky,
also
Lucky,
marshal
Lucky,
themselves,
Lucky,
they can
see,
do something
you are
at the
trying to
Bernabeu?
behave like-
Especially when Real Madrid have not been playing very well.
Yeah, we
I
know.
saw their game against
We know.
Espanyol.
Even when they were
before
coming
that,
to, even when they are coming to
might have
Anfield, they
not
were
been
no.
playing
Yes,
very well.
look, you are trying to be like a beautiful poet. Let's not cajole with words. You see, the Fantis have a proverb.
prediction.
The Fantis have a proverb. When you ncha motia neba.
To
Do you
me,
understand? To wait.
To me, you don't go
To wait.
dancing. You don't go dancing to what is it called?
Agbaza to the
Edward's child.
I mean,
You know, that is what they are.
When you ncha motia
They've seen
neba.
it all.
You see, Real Madrid are the motia.
Exactly.
I mean, how can you come and behave with Amotia? All the tricks his daddy has told him in the
They've seen
chamber.
it all.
You understand? So when he come and he starts somersaulting, he will blow some small wind. Be
Scoreline.
4-0.
Are you emphatic? Will you
4-0.
will you bet your reputation on it on the show?
4-0.
Liverpool will be beaten by
4-0.
over 3.5.
Yeah. I like that.
If, producer, if they want more of this, they should watch out for this in Saturday show. It
Oh
will be massive.
God.
How do you expect Liverpool to approach that game? Let's look at the approach. How should Liverpool go into that game?
They should go with management. They should go and manage the game. There's something that Muller said.
So they should be a bit defensive
from the beginning. Like
but you know, Liverpool are not a defensive.
it is not about Liverpool is or Liverpool is. Stop focusing on Liverpool. You should stop focusing on Liverpool and say, and Liverpool is Liverpool. If it was any other team, we should be having this discussion.
Wow.
From the beginning, Real Madrid will show them that there is no point in having hope. Because it is Muller who said this. Muller said this when Barca was coming to them, that from the beginning, we want to let them know that there is no point in dreaming of hope. Because if
You know, we will take away the hope.
no, you don't let them go to 15th minute with 0-0. No. First 15 minutes, there is like 1-0, 2-0. Then it is settled. So that they can they have to reserve the energy for top four.
Pause. My Liverpool fans, you see the way Kofi and Percy are literally mopping the floor with you guys. Come on, why are you allowing this to happen? I'll take your comments later, but I think that you guys are being too harsh on Liverpool. Liverpool have done it before. To who? They did it to AC Milan at the time.
Listen,
the best team in the world.
Listen,
They
AC
did it
Milan
to
never
Barcelona.
won 3 peats. They never won 5 Champions Leagues in less than 10 years. That AC, see, you are overhyping them.
So you feel Liverpool should approach the game a bit more defensive,
Not
to more
defensive.
limit the damage.
They should reserve energy because with this game you are going in, this is Santiago Bernabeu. I'm surprised you are giving hope. It's like you are trying to. It's like those motivational speakers who say that they started the whole poultry farm with two cassettes. A whole poultry farm. They started a whole poultry farm with one egg.
One egg.
Why is it a hermaphrodite?
Prediction.
My prediction is I will not say 4-0, but Liverpool will
See
lose.
the guys I do the show.
It's a game they will lose. But like I'm saying,
Scoreline.
3-0.
You see, when it comes to scoreline, Percy always wants to sit on
Because
the fence.
it's football.
You are
I
also,
just know they will
yours
lose.
is over 2.5.
That is what I mean. 2.5.
Yours is over 3.5. Now, Pep comes up or City comes up against Leipzig at the Etihad. They, in Germany, people feel that, well, come on, all that City needed was to avoid a defeat, and they did that. In that game, took control of the first half. In the second half, took their feet off the pedal. Leipzig came in back into the game. You saw their game against Crystal Palace on Saturday. Pep was asked why he dropped certain players. He said he felt that the midweek game was very crucial. He needed to rotate and all of that. So you should expect the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and all of these players start in that game against Leipzig. How do you expect the game to go quickly
I'm
in
expecting.
60 seconds?
I'm expecting City to win. Of course, this is what they do every day, every time
Every
after
score line.
round 16. They do well. This one, if you have not watched the RB Leipzig team, you would think that it is just any other team.
Yeah.
It's a team with a lot. It's a project team. They are just like PSV or Ajax or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of young players in them. So City, or else it will be like the 2017 Monaco,
Yeah.
with Falcao and Mbappe doing the job. So City, if they lose, I won't be surprised, because in Champions League they have no pedigree. They are just like Leipzig. They are all non-entities in the Champions League. So this game, this 1-1, that was played over there, it will not have any effect, because Etihad is not scary. Champions League night, the fans don't add anything. There's no number 12
Pep
man to it.
Guardiola has actually complained about the fans
Because
not
they've
coming
never
alive.
seen anything there.
That's the problem.
They've not seen anything. They just started playing Champions League like
So you
2011.
feel it's a City win?
I feel City should win this game with the quality of players they have, but nonetheless, you should expect Leipzig to come to the party.
Scoreline prediction:
2-1, 2-1, 2-1 for City.
2-1 for City.
Yeah.
So, Panthers, how do you describe that?
Is it handicap or
City
so
win?
City over-
City win over 2.5.
over 2.5?
Or total goals
Over
over
two- over two point-
2.5. Let's do it that way. Kofi, Leipzig coming to this game knowing that we drew in Germany. How are you expecting Leipzig to approach the game? Do you think they should be defensive? Because we know City, on any given day, when they get going, Phil Foden has found some good form and all of that. When they get going, they can tear you apart. You expect Leipzig to be very tight at the back,
Well,
not giving
I
too
think
much.
that Percy said something very poignant, and maybe a lot of our viewers and listeners have not been watching the Bundesliga. If you've watched the Bundesliga post the sacking of the previous manager of Leipzig when they were going through crisis, they've actually been one of the best teams in. I think that this should be a game where we look out for a potential shocker. I I am actually tipping like to go and do the unthinkable against Pep Guardiola's City. I think that Leipzig will go ahead and then beat City, get City out of the Champions League literally.
Okay.
I expect a shock in this particular game.
Okay, I think our viewers, so those of our friends who always bless us with soup stickers. I think today we've been quiet on it, but it's not too late. Just send your super stickers. We appreciate your support so much. So wherever you are, in Germany, in London, in the US, just send us your super stickers, your support. We appreciate it so much. So let me take some comments. Let me start from here. So Piquet says that it's called Joe Biden Cup, just as the President Cup in Ghana. He's talking about the Carabao Cup that United won this season. Let me take the comments. Kofi Awuni says, Lucky Pa, one is 7 months into his job and one is almost 3 years into his job, and you want to compare both. Hey, Masa, go and check Ateta in his first season, not 7 months. I'm asking because you can still do even 2 months and have impact. I'm speaking about impact because I look at the impact Eric Ten Hag has had in this short time. I think that he's done better than Ateta in 3 years. Even in 7 months, he's done better than Ateta, who has handled the club for almost 3 years. That's what I think. That's why I asked this question. So Ten Hag's project in his first season and you can see the body of work. What Arsenal is doing is in its fourth season. Arsenal in their fourth season or third.
Third.
I think that's the third season. Ten Hag has had the most impact on his team with regards to time spent. I agree with this one. Arteta's impact is clear. He came to meet players like Mustafi, Socrates, and managed to win the FA Cup. With the COVID situation, he still managed to bring the team out with little money. That also is a very good point. His first season, he wins
Won
the
the FA
FA
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah, we won the FA
That's
Cup.
arguably one of the second biggest trophy. They didn't win the Carabao
He
Cup.
came halfway actually.
Well, whatever it is, he won the FA Cup. Luton says that funny thing is PSG has a great academy that keeps
I
producing.
am shocked.
That's the
Some of the
thing.
very
Is
best
that
Some of the
players.
Xavi
best young
Simons,
players.
Indeed, people have said that they need to play the
Xavi
reset
Simons, you can talk of
reset
Kingsley
band
Coman.
and
Anyway,
go
I
back
mean,
to the
Lawton,
academy.
great point. They're producing good players, but the owners want instant success, so they keep buying big stars instead of building a team. I agree. Snowball says that great show. It's an uphill task for Liverpool, but never say never. Liverpool, you never walk alone. Liverpool will not survive this. Price is Liverpool will win the match, but won't qualify. That could happen, and I think that would be some form of reprieve for Liverpool. They winning, and I think that it will not be a bad thing if Liverpool win and
The
not
lost
qualify.
cause.
On PlayStation or in real life.
I tip City to win the CL this season. Like you tell Kofi that football results can be unpredictable. It can be predicted, but nothing is guaranteed until the game is over. It's true. Liverpool can go and do damage at the Bernabeu. Remember, the away goal rule has been scrapped off. That's true. But that happens when it's a drawn game.
Exactly, but it means
Let's
that
let's explain that. Yeah, Kofi, explain
it
that.
means that basically Liverpool have to go at the Bernabeu and do a +1 over whatever the differential is. So
Exactly.
So four.
as it
Four,
is
four
now,
zero.
Madrid are leading +3. You
Exactly.
understand? So Liverpool need to go to the Bernabeu and do a
And score
4-0.
4. If
Maybe they
Liverpool
need to do
score
a
3,
5-1, a 6-2, a 7-3. Come on, PlayStation
it doesn't
results. I
work.
mean,
Okay.
PlayStation results.
Okay, so keep the super stickers coming. Hey guys, let's see some super stickers. We love you for that. And listen, we cannot live without talking about basketball. And I'm a fan of basketball. Yep, almost all of us are fan of basketball. Ja Morant's issue. So his first issue was that he was charged with pushing a fan, abusing a young kid. Then later he goes to his Instagram page and flashes a gun, which is a bit of a criminal issue. The Memphis Grizzlies have giving him some form of, they didn't say they've suspended him, but it says the team has allowed him to stay away. It was first 2 games. Now they've extended it to the next 4 games. Gradually, by the time you realize,
The whole season.
it will probably be the whole season. But the NBA Association is also investigating the case to see if there's something criminal or illegal that Jamoran did. You think that, what's your take? Even before I ask that question, what's your take on this? Especially when I said I saw the picture today on Twitter. There's this US based. They are like TMZ. They posted a picture out there. It was at a strip club, with a stripper on him. The stripper was fully naked. I can't say things on air. Doing the things strip. If you
So
go to a strip club, you
get
know
it.
what happens
I
in a
don't
strip
get it.
club.
I mean, the guy is making good money. You don't want him to enjoy his money.
I hold my opinion though. But what do you make of Jamoran's
Yeah, you're
case?
talking about somebody being a bad boy, but it's not taken to prison. Those were your words. He's
But
being a bad
bad
boy,
boys
but he's
haven't
never
committed.
doing
Being a bad boy is a
yeah,
crime.
exactly. I mean, Jam Moran, he's enjoying his life. Indeed, with regards the gun, a high-profile ex-basketball player has come out to support Jam Moran, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce,
And what did Paul Pierce say?
the Boston Celtics legend,
Yeah.
one of the greatest shooters. Probably Steph Curry is doing all the things that everybody.
The
but
truth,
it-
yeah. What did Paul Pierce say?
Paul Pierce says that listen, we live in a society where we allow rappers, we allow people who make hip hop music to go away with all of these things. We think that it's part of their lives.
Yeah.
So why should we hold basketball players to a different standard?
Finish. I have my take.
And so I think that this is the perspective. I think that in all of this, you need to look at the context, because if you've never been to the States before, if you do not understand the nomenclature, or if you do not understand the fabric of society they live in, you might probably want to cast an eye a bad eye on this particular subject matter. I think that Ja Moran was just being American. He was just being American. He was just being a famous American. You understand? I mean, if the likes of the famous Americans can go to all of these things, flash guns around, and let's put it on record: the guns that he flashed, they are duly registered in his name. You
Legal.
understand? So he has a legal arm. He decides to flash it. Maybe for a long part, and this is where my issues come in. The NBA has sought to create an image of itself, you understand, for a long time. So from Malik Abdul Jabbar,
Name them.
they call him the something
Karim
something,
Abdul-Jabbar.
yeah, Abdul Jabbar. They
Yeah.
call, he has a particular
Yeah.
nickname, but from the era of Abdul Jabbar to
Magic area,
the Magic era, to the Jordan era, to
Kobe era,
Kobe era,
to the
and then
LeBron.
LeBron James era, and now to the Jason Tatum,
And then
to
the Ja Morants
the
and
Ja
Jalen
Moran,
Browns and
the
Devin
Jalen
Booker's,
Brown, the my good friend the Doncic. You
Luka
understand?
Doncic.
So you look at the basketball, they have sought to portray a particular image.
Yeah.
And so they expect that players who are under their jurisdiction should carry themselves in a particular way.
Yeah.
Listen, when Kobe Bryant was alive, there was something they call the Mamba mentality.
Mentality.
And even now, current players in the NBA,
Devin Booker,
Devin Booker,
countless players
Devin Booker,
live by that mantra. Jason
Tatum,
Tatum.
they go by that mantra,
Yeah.
the Mamba mentality. When you go to Japan, the influence that Kobe Bryant made in Japan, huge. You know, Kobe is a Japanese word.
Yeah.
It means fish or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I mean, you are the historian, so you know all of this. But I think that Ja Morant is part of the springing few who the likes of the LeBrons, the Steph Currys
Culture.
are leaving or handing over the baton to. You understand? Ja Morant is a phenomenal basketball player. Don't look at the body.
That no one questions it.
I dare say that he's the most athletic basketball player alive today.
Of his peers.
of his peers.
No, of anybody playing today.
That would be another.
That would
No,
be
of anybody playing
because
today.
of
Because
his
you see,
peers. The guys in the 22, 23
no,
of his peers.
no. Listen, I've seen LeBron James. I've seen the thing that's
He's not
LeBron
more
James.
athletic than
Giannis.
Giannis is outrageously athletic.
I don't think Giannis is athletic. I think Giannis is a force of nature.
If you talk about skill,
Because of his size, you understand? Because
And he's making
no,
use of it.
if Giannis is 7'2" or 7 feet, you understand? I don't expect him to be phenomenal when he's dunking. But the things that Ja Morant can do, 30 feet away from the rim.
so Kofi, you feel that there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I feel that it has to be contextual. I think that he probably violates the kind of image that the basketball world is trying to portray to American kids. You understand? But being a man living in America, I don't think that he needs to be held any further.
This
than
is
that.
where I feel the young man should better get his act together, because this is not the first time. Ja Morant has been an athlete who has portrayed the gangster image. And those who have followed him have seen that, especially with his Instagram posts and the likes. He always wants to be like a gangster, but he's one of the very few basketball acts who came from a very good home. You know, his two parents are still together. You know, in America, you don't really find that. Most of these young guys grew up with very good background, but he wants to associate himself with a gangster lifestyle. Kofi, there's a reason why American presidents don't go flashing guns. Every job comes with its job description. Like you said, the NBA wants to portray an image. The NBA wants to use the NBA to take children out of
The streets.
the streets, the slums. And so you do not portray an image which indicates that you can carry that street life and succeed, because he's not just a player for the Grizzlies, he's a whole brand. You're talking about it. I feel that he's the next guy to carry the mantle after LeBron. He's that good. If Jason Tatum and the likes, he's that good. You do not carry that image. And it's bad on the NBA, it's bad on the brand for you to go, flashing guns and all of that. For me, I think that is wrong, is bad, and whoever his advisors are, they should sit him down. I hope that after how many ban he comes back, he'll get the acts together. But how I wish that Percy will have his take. But hopefully that topic will bring it back again. The best duo in basketball right now. The Suns have Devin Booker or the what is called duos. We'll do that, but that's what 101 gives you. We'll give you everything about sports. But guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know if there are comments before we bow out here. I think our time is up and we need to check out of the studios. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an amazing 2 hour show as always. Every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. we come your way with the best sports show live on YouTube. We stream also on Tidy FM 99.1. I did the show with Percy and Kofi Asiedu. You can find a repeat of the show on our YouTube channel. Make sure you go and watch it together with all other videos that we've produced on the channel. Solid content. We love everyone that join us in the comment section. The poll was out. I think that I didn't read the poll. Next week we'll give you the poll results. But till we see you again next week. It's bye.